What is up, Dallas Cowboys fans? It's another Dallas Cowboys Daily Blitz podcast right here on FanStream Sports. I'm IndyCarTim. Good morning to you. Welcome to a Wednesday. We have made it to hump day. Funny story. I was like 50 years old when I figured out what that term meant. Took me quite a while, apparently. I thought it was something completely different. Had nothing to do, by the way, with the middle of the week. But we'll leave it at that. Yes, I've never been accused of being the brightest. Cowboys training camp is alive and well. We've got stories coming out. And apparently, one of the biggest storylines I thought we would follow all the way through camp, that many people thought we would follow all the way through camp, is apparently done. Already done. 3 days in. Donezo. Because we got to talk Tyler Guyton. Because apparently the Dallas Cowboys left tackle competition is donezo. And I don't understand any of what is happening in Oxnard right now. 1 day in pads. That's all it took. After spending the offseason telling everybody that former first-round pick Tyler Guyton would have to battle Nate Thomas for the left tackle position, head coach Brian Schottenheimer has made it abundantly clear that Guyton is expected to win that very short-lived competition and remain the starter. What? Let me get this straight. The Cowboys spent months telling us that Tyler Guyton's job was not safe. They publicly put a third-year first-round draft pick on notice. They brought up Nate Thomas multiple times as a legitimate challenger. And then suddenly, after one padded practice, Guyton is the guy again? That is not a competition. That is a motivational tactic with shoulder pads. And honestly, maybe that was the plan all along. The Cowboys never wanted Nate Thomas to win this job. We talked about that. We discussed what a PR disaster that would be for the front office, for the scouts, for those who make the draft decisions, Jerry Jones, Will McClay, Stephen Jones, and others. And we even posed the question, what if Tyler Guyton is just that bad? Will the Cowboys take the PR hit and make Nate Thomas the starter? Because it would be a massive PR hit. But no, they wanted Tyler Guyton to start acting like the player they drafted in the first round. They wanted him focused, they wanted him physical, and they wanted him maybe just a little bit uncomfortable. Because entering year 3 for him, with your starting job hanging in the balance, is not a ringing endorsement of your performance in prior seasons. First-round draft picks are supposed to be foundational players. I don't care what position you're at. You're supposed to lock down your position, especially when that position is left tackle. You're not supposed to be fighting for your professional life before your rookie contract is even up, before it's halfway finished. But, Guyton didn't sound bothered by any of this. He showed up, he worked every day, and apparently he got way better in 3 days. Look, I am not in Oxnard. I'm not watching practice. And I'm not sure that those that are there expected this either. But, his comments through all of this were very mature. He said the right things. He said friendly competition brings out the best in players. And that's exactly the kind of thing you need him to say. But let's be real about all of it. Nobody gets drafted in the first round dreaming about friendly competition. And he knows 100% what is at stake right now. He is protecting Dak Prescott's blind side. He's playing one of the most important positions in all of football. He's playing for a franchise that has been spoiled rotten at left tackle for decades. We remember Tyron Smith. It wasn't that long ago. Before Tyron, we remember Flozell Adams. Before Flozell the Hotel, Dallas had an entire history of dominant offensive linemen. The standard at left tackle in Dallas is not pretty good. The standard is absolute greatness. And that brings us maybe to the most interesting part of this entire story. Because the aforementioned Tyron Smith has been hanging around the Cowboys offensive line, helping with drills, offering advice, and working one-on-one with Guyton and the other offensive linemen. Guyton jokingly referred to him this week as Gold Jacket, saying Smith shows up just kind of whenever he wants. And you know what? Tyron Smith has earned that privilege. When one of the greatest left tackles of his generation walks into your meeting room, you stop talking and you start listening. There probably is not a better mentor for Tyler Guyton on this planet than Tyron Smith. Tyron understands technique. He understands leverage. He understands how to survive against the elite pass rushers in the NFL. And he knows very well the physical punishment that comes with playing left tackle in the NFL. And most importantly, maybe he understands the pressure of playing that position for the Dallas Cowboys. You don't just block defensive ends in Dallas. You block expectations. You block criticism. You block for a quarterback whose every throw becomes national television content. And when you mess up, Cowboys Nation does not quietly move on. When you mess up, you are replayed on social media over and over and over again. People circle you in red and they ask Jerry Jones, why the heck did you draft this guy? That's just the job. Guyton has all the physical tools. That has never been the question. He's huge. He's athletic. He's got the kind of frame and the movement ability that NFL coaches absolutely fall in love with. And that's why he was drafted. But as we've said before, potential does not protect Dak Prescott. Draft status does not stop elite pass rushers. And at some point, Tyler Guyton just has to become dependable. And that's what this entire season is all about. Not flashes, not potential, not waiting for him to continue to develop. There is one word the Cowboys need to see out of him this year, and it is dependability. The Cowboys need to know that when Dak drops back on 3rd and 7, the left side of the pocket is not going to collapse like a folding chair. The Cowboys need to know that when the offense is trying to run out the clock at the end of the game, Tyler Guyton can move anybody against their will. The Cowboys need to know that the man protecting their franchise quarterback isn't going to be the weak link on the offense. And maybe this so-called competition with Nate Thomas lit the fire that Dallas wanted. Maybe Guyton finally heard the message. Maybe working with Tyron Smith has helped him clean up some technique issues. Maybe Tyler Guyton is finally ready to become the player the Cowboys believed that they were drafting. And I'm not ready to throw a parade because Brian Schottenheimer named him the starter after one day in pads. Winning the job in Oxnard is one thing. Keeping Dak Prescott off his butt in September, October, November, December, and hopefully deep into January is another thing. Tyler Guyton has not completed any missions. He has simply survived a warning shot. And make no mistake, this Cowboys team this year will only go as far as its offensive line will allow it to go. None of the stud offensive pieces mean anything if Dak doesn't have time to throw. And that's going to put Guyton under the microscope this year. The Cowboys want him as their left tackle. They need him as their left tackle. And now it looks like he's going to get an opportunity again to prove that he deserves the job. The competition for him might be ending, but the pressure for him is just now starting. It's going to do it for us today, boys and girls. I'm IndyCarTim. This has been your Dallas Cowboys Daily Blitz presented by FanStream Sports. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tell us in the comments, are you confident that Tyler Guyton can keep Dak Prescott off his butt this season? Or do you need to